Hey everybody, welcome back to the Carryandcut YouTube channel. If you're new here, I really do appreciate you stopping by and watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, also leave a comment down below. It really does help out the channel, and I love interacting with everybody out there in the comment section. I do have a couple cool announcements that I want to get known, I guess you should say. We are doing a 2,000 subscriber giveaway, and we are inching up really close to it. So at the recording of this video, I think we're around 1,907 subscribers, something like that. Definitely oddly specific, but that's just about where we're at. So make sure you guys spread the word. We are going to be giving away a pretty cool knife. We're going to be doing a TRM Holy Nerd, so definitely excited about that. TRM is a great company. They have provided the knife for us to give away, so definitely excited about that one. We also do have a Jimmy Crow knife to give away too. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that one. Definitely excited about it, but without further ado, let's go ahead and get on into this review here. So this is a cool little knife sent to us by our good buddy Steven, Lantern Man over there, and his little man Dom. So guys, really do appreciate it. Couldn't do it without you. And this is the MKM Isonzo. I think that's exactly what it's called. It's a knife that I've never heard of before, from a brand that I've actually never heard of before either. So MKM as a brand in whole, they seem like a really cool knife brand, that's for sure. So you have MKM Maniago Knife Makers, that's what it stands for. This is the Isonzo Cleaver and Black FRN. Pretty standard little packaging it comes with. Comes with your little product card, I guess you could say, made in Maniago, Italy. And that's a pretty cool thing. And of course, I like the idea behind the made in Italy knives. This is the first one I've actually ever been able to handle, but I know, of course, MKM, Fox. I'm thinking there's another knife maker out there. It's just I can't think off the top of my head, but I know Fox is one of the other bigger, well-known knife companies, at least in my experience, from Italy. And there's nothing but good stuff that comes out of Italy at the same time. I know they have some funny knife laws, so they have a whole bunch of different kind of knives for different kind of folks, I guess you should say. But this is a really cool little knife, and Steven got this over there at Blade Show, Texas. This is another one of his hauls that he sent over to us to take a look at. So this kind of has his DNA all over it. Of course, not really so much as the small size, but he loves the black blades, coated blades, blacked out stuff. He loves sheep's foot blade shapes. The drop point is definitely something that he is not a fan of. All right, so this is definitely a really cool little knife, and it's got a loud personality and presentation, I guess you should say. A couple first things that I noticed right off the bat that I do like. I really like the deep carry wire pocket clip, of course. And this is almost a cool knife that you could throw on to like a carabiner. I know it's kind of a little big to have like a keychain kind of knife, if you know what I'm saying. But you could still, with this oversized lanyard attachment point, you could definitely throw this on a carabiner, on a D-ring, or a your key ring, and go right about your business on there. I do like the really tall, well, I would say it's keep this in mind, a tall blade shape on such a small knife too. The sheep's foot blade shape is going to give you a lot of versatility, a lot of great, cutting tasks can be done with this knife right here. This is a N690 blade steel here, which is pretty comparable to a 440C. It's going to be a little bit easier to sharpen than S30V would be, but of course not holding an edge as long, but it still is pretty tough stuff, but definitely very capable stuff. I know 440C is a knife steel that people still love to use. We do have black, I think this is a G10 on these handles right here. I'm pretty sure there is inset steel. There's definitely have to be inset steel liners on the inside, so it is really nice to see that actually keep the liners on the inside. We do have a, of course, liner lock. No flipper right there. You only do have your thumb hole deployment, or reverse flick, whatever you want to do with it. I'm pretty sure this knife is going to be on washers. Not sure about that. I am not sure about that part of it. All right, so I'm not sure where I left off. I had to help the little one with something. She wanted to come down and play down here. So let's go ahead and jump right back into this thing. Like I said, not sure where exactly we were, but let's go ahead and get over. I think might have been talking about the blade steel. Regardless, try to do this in one take. I'm not the biggest fan of editing. If you guys have watched my videos in the past here, I like to just do one-take reviews on this. So let's go ahead and do some overall size and specs. How about that? So from tip of the blade to butt of the knife there, we are just over 5.5 inches. So getting close to 5 5/8, something like that. Pretty small overall. Handle length is coming in at, well, let's do blade length first. Blade length is right about 2 1/4. If you're all the way up here at the tip of the scale, you're, right about, just really close to 2 1/4. How about that? Yeah. And then sharpened edge is going to be right under 2 inches. So I know that's a big thing for a lot of people. That's a big a big knife law in a lot of countries that you have to have under 2 inches of actual blade length, I'm assuming. So definitely a very good little blade, that is for sure. It's going to be very useful. And let's, why don't we go ahead and weigh it? I'm kind of interested to see how, what this thing scales in at. All right, zero the scale out. We're at 2.4 ounces, so that's pretty close to your ounce per inch that a lot of people like to get to. Of course, it's I don't think it's setting out to be a super lightweight knife by any stretch of the imagination. We do have a really nice titanium backspacer on there. I already talked about it before, but that is aluminum backspacer back there. It looks like we have aluminum pivot collar on there too. I'm assuming we do have a captive pivot. Let's go ahead and check that out. Yep, we got a aluminum pivot collar there too. Nice little pop of color. Do love seeing that. Not sure what the blade coating is on this actually. I'm assuming it's not going to be DLC, but still a nice black coating on the blade. This is going to be pretty easily used by lefties at the same time with that reversible deep carry clip. And blade stock thickness is going to be right around 140 thousandths. Yeah, right around 140 thousandths, so still pretty good. Let's see what the behind the edge thickness is. Get a good spot. 19 thousandths. That might be a little bit conservative. Might not be all the way down there at the edge of that, but still very thin behind the edge. It's going to be a really good slicer. All right, let's go ahead and do some size comparisons. Why don't we? I'm trying to pick out some of the smaller knives that I actually have in my collection. I don't have many knives that are actually this small. I do have, though, the TRM Holy Nerd. So this is actually going to be one of the knives I'm giving away for my 2,000 subscriber giveaway. It's not going to be this one exactly, but that is a very good size comparison. If you guys have ever came in contact with a knife like this, it's a super versatile, easy to use. It's a small knife, but it still feels good in your hand because it has a nice broad blade on it. That is for sure. And then, sorry. A nice broad blade and a nice hand-filling handle. That is for sure. How about up against the Vosteed Mini Labrador? So that's another small knife, but these are small knives, but they feel bigger. They carry bigger, and what I mean by that is they just feel your hand better. And this is also another tiny little knife. This is the Spyderco. I think this is one of the Bug series. Not too sure on that one, but still very small. This is a keychain knife for sure, and the handle is basically the same exact size, but of course this is just going to be way thinner in every dimension, but still we're you know, close profile. We are definitely still very small. All right, so there's those ones. How about up against the Ontario Rat Model 2? So definitely a shade bit smaller than the Ontario Rat Model 2. And then how about up against the Spyderco Delica? That's going to be one that everybody needs to have in their collection. Spyderco Delica. And then how about one of the smaller ones that I do have is the ProTech PT Plus. And you look at that sharpened length on these blades right here. There really isn't too much more sharpened length on the actual MKM here as there is on the ProTech PT Plus right there. So definitely a pretty cool little design. I'm definitely impressed by the Maniago Italy stuff, and I would really like to get into maybe some Fox knives here before too long. I know they have some really great offerings and you know, some really high quality stuff coming out of those factories over there in Italy. And I would prefer a knife like this over one in China, that's for sure. But that is just me. This is a Jesper Voxnays design here too. Forgot to say that. This is actually coming in at $80 right now on sale at Blade HQ. So I will make sure to go ahead and link that down in the description below if you guys would like to check it out. It's completely up to you, but this is a pretty cool little knife, and I think this would make a really good addition to somebody's collection if they're like this, you know, kind of small little knives, or just something that's easy to throw in your truck or whatever and use, you know, day to day. Put on the keychain, put in the wife's purse, either or. It's going to be a nice little carry. It's going to be able to get the job done at the same time. So I really do appreciate it, and I hope you guys have a great day, and we will catch you on the next one. Thanks.